Hey people, how's it going? Welcome to another video. Welcome to part 3 of my top 50 albums of all time. So we've obviously done parts 1, 50 to 41. We've done part 2, 40 to 31. Today is part 3. We're doing 30 to 21. So if you've seen the other two, a few wild cards in there, whereas these are getting more proper, just straight hit, metal from all sorts of genres. So I'm super excited. I've been meaning to do this. I've been hoping to get this one out for you on time, on Friday. So thankfully it did work out. But yeah, I reckon we get straight into it. Like I said at the start of all the others, if you know your top 10 albums of all time, please let me know what they are down below, and I'll be happy to converse with you, being like, oh yeah, why do you like that one? X, Y, Z. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Coming in with number 30. Number 30 is a bit of a nostalgic one. It's probably the first band that I think that made me realize what a guitar was. I think possibly, if I'm thinking back, that had like an actual impact on me. And I'm talking about the iconic, groundbreaking album by Green Day, American Idiot. This one came out in 2004. This one celebrates 20 years this year. And yeah, before I got into metal and before I became the diehard Maiden fan and stuff that I am today, Green Day were the band that I got into. Mostly, they're like everyone's first gateway into metal music, really. At least they were, of my generation, they were anyway. Some people tend to stick with it and refuse to move on. Me, not so much. Once I got past 15, it was like, all right, never mind. I did rank all of Green Day's albums. Obviously, this was number 1. There was no doubt about it. But everything about this album is awesome. It's like on par with the Black Parade, which we included in part 2 of this list, I'm pretty sure. With the whole concept-y patient dying thing, this one also is a concept album that tackles the story of the Jesus of suburbia leaving his home to go live in the city, only to be corrupted by girls and drugs and things like that. It's a brilliant album. It's a fantastic story from start to finish. Jesus of suburbia this song was just amazing. Every section of that song, Jesus, City of the Damned, I Don't Care, Dearly Beloved, Tales of a Broken Home, it's honestly fantastic. Holiday, criminally is underrated. I don't know. I much prefer Holiday to Boulevard of Broken Dreams. It's so much awesome. Are We the Waiting, St. Jimmy, absolutely fantastic. But then all the other stuff, like other than the singles, is great too. Give Me a Novocaine, fantastic. She's a Rebel, quick 2-minute, great song. Extraordinary Girl, the one song on here that I'll skip, but apparently if you listen to it in cahoots with the story, apparently it has its place, but to me it's just not a fun song. Let It Bomb, easily one of the greatest songs on the album. Wake Me Up When September Ends, I could skip that, I've heard it too much. The other 9-minute song, Homecoming, that one's great. That's broken up into 5 parts as well. That's another 9-minute song, like Jesus. The Death of St. Jimmy, East 12th Street, Nobody Likes You, Rock and Roll Girlfriend, We're Coming Home Again, and then the final track, What's Her Name, which is actually a fantastic way to end the album. I've said in the past that it's got almost bonus track vibes, considering like how different it is from the album, but it's a look back at your life type song. At least it is for the St. Jimmy character anyway. So yeah, it's a fantastic album. I don't need to tell you to listen to it because you probably already have, but yeah, that's easily number 30 is American Idiot. Number 29, we tackle some gothic doom metal, and I'm talking about my favorite typo negative album, October Rust. This is a most recent purchase. It's a secondhand purchase, but it's still honestly so good. The guy was selling Slow, Deep and Hard, and he was like, oh, by the way, I've got October Rust. So I was like, I'll take October Rust, thank you very much. This album is, in a way, it's pretty damn perfect. I hummed and hard about which was my favorite typo album. Was it this one or was it Bloody Kisses? Bloody Kisses is fantastic as well, but this one just takes the cake. It has a fun little intro, like most typo albums do. World Coming Down has like the CD skipping sound to really throw off the listener. This one's just full of a bunch of noises, I'm pretty sure, going off the top of my head. And then the weird thing it has, which I've never really heard of any album, is an audio clip of Peter Steele and the band just being like, hey, thank you for picking up our album. So I was like, okay, great. We should have more of that. And then of course, Love Me to Death comes on after that. That's one of the greatest typo songs ever. I think it's fantastic. But then everything else is still just as great. Be My Druidess is great. Green Man, I really love the Green Man song. My Girlfriend's Girlfriend, that's funny. Cinnamon Girl, is it Neil Diamond, I think? The cover of that, oh, that's fun too. Haunted's a hauntingly beautiful song as well. Embrace of Bacchus, Burnt Flowers Fall and Die With Me. That's honestly a great album. If you haven't checked out much of Typo and you've only heard like Black Number One and stuff, I really recommend you check out October Rust. This one's from 1996, I'm pretty sure. It doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me. It only tells me when it was pressed, and that was 21. So yeah, this is a green LP. It's fantastic. I love it so much. Yeah, number 29, October Rust. Number 28 is some Viking metal, and it's the band Tyr, or Turia, with their album Valkyra. I think that's how you say it. This one came out in 2012. Yes, I actually don't have this album because getting this without paying exuberant amounts of money is more or less impossible. I remember when I first found Tyr, and they were great fun. Hail to the Hammer was a great song, as well as a bunch of others. But this album has Blood of Heroes, which was just a fantastic song. It's a great opener, and it's just still to this day top tier song. Everything else on that album is great. I don't have it in front of me. Let's go off memory. What's it called? Mayor of My Night, that's a great song. Hell Hath No Fury, I think that's what it's called. That one's awesome as well. The ballad, what's the ballad called? Lay of My Love, that's a great song as well, with the duet with the woman. That's great. That's the same woman who did the Nymphetamine song with Cradle of Filth. So that was awesome. But then like all the other stuff, another fallen hero, is that what it's called? Fallen Brother, something like that. Into the Sky, that's great. Valkyra, the title track, is awesome. Lady of the Slain, that's awesome too. And then there's Fana Bruto Trantaglio, whatever that song's called. That's a great one as well. Honestly, if you haven't checked out this Valkyra album, it's honestly amazing. If you keep listening and you get like the bonus tracks, it's got Cemetery Gates and from Pantera and covers of Where Eagles Dare. That's pretty fun. So yeah, it's honestly a great album. I jammed this album quite a lot still today, 10 years later after its release. It's honestly fantastic. So yeah, number 28, Valkyria. Number 27 is some extreme power metal, and I'm talking about Dragon Force, Sonic Firestorm. This is from 2004. This album is just the real pinnacle of what people expect when they hear the words Dragon Force. You know, this one has some of their more better known songs. You know, Dragon Force at one time were one of my all-time favorite bands. You know, everything they did was just awesome. Obviously Through the Fire and Flames from Guitar Hero, but then I branched out into other stuff they did, Fury of the Storm and stuff like that, and it was just amazing. The first four albums are fantastic with Zippy on vocals, and then Mark turned up, and The Power Within was a great album, as was Maximum Overload. But then everything after that just slowly got worse and worse and worse, to the point now where it's like, do you know what? Don't worry about it. Just listen to this stuff from Dragon Force. Honestly, My Spirit Will Go On is absolutely fantastic. Fury of the Storm, perfect. Fields of Despair, that chorus, the Fields of Despair, so good. That high note that he does is amazing. Dawn Over a New World, fantastic. Above the Winter Moonlight, again, the high note that he does at the end of that song, I think that's Zippy's highest note. It's amazing. Soldiers of the Wasteland, 10 minutes of just epic Dragon Force-ness. Prepare for War, that's really fun as well. It sounds a lot like Fury of the Storm musically, but it's great. And Once in a Lifetime, it's honestly just a perfect power metal album for anyone who doesn't want to go slow. It's a fantastic album all the way through. It's just fantastic. If you can see real closely, you can see as well that it's signed. I saw these guys live and I took this album with me, and they signed that for me. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So yeah, number 27, Sonic Firestorm by Dragon Force. Complete opposite for number 26, we got harsh, brutal black metal, Darkthrone's third album, Under a Funeral Moon. Yep, a lot of people praise A Blaze in the Northern Sky as Darkthrone's best album. Don't get me wrong, Blaze in the Northern Sky is fantastic. However, I just slightly prefer Under a Funeral Moon. I love the production on it, I love the way it sounds, and to me, all the songs are just funner as well. Blaze in the Northern Sky has 6 tracks, this one's got 8. It's just a little bit fuller. Well, I say it's fuller. The album's more full. The production is not. It's very, what's the word? Thin, trebly, you know, it's black metal, so it's not going to sound good, but it does. If you expect black metal, it sounds like a fantastic black metal album. Natasha in Eternal Sleep is probably one of my favorite Darkthrone songs. That's a great song. The songs don't really have like intros or whatever, or ends. They just go and then stop, so that's kind of funny. Like, you just get hit with the song straight away. Summer of the Diabolical Holocaust, that's a fantastic song. The Dance of Eternal Shadows, great stuff. Unholy black metal, because what other way is there to have black metal other than it be unholy? To Walk the Infernal Fields is great. Under a Funeral Moon, the title track, and just yeah, crossing the triangle of fire flames. That's a great song. Honestly, if you've only listened to A Blaze in the Northern Sky, or even if you've only listened to Transylvanian Hunger, please give Under a Funeral Moon a listen. I find it's right in the sweet spot between A Blaze's production and Transylvania's absolutely crazy raw rough production. This is like the drums, yeah, are very, very tinny on this, but like I just love the way it sounds. I think it's cool. It's a cold album, and I'm super excited to jam this stuff when winter rolls back around in June. So yeah, number 26, Under a Funeral Moon. Number 25, some blackened death metal from Austria, I'm pretty sure. Belphegor, Conjuring the Dead. I first found Belphegor when I was looking for brutal, hard, scary, satanic music. I typed in Baphomet into YouTube, just the name, just to see if there was anybody talking about that devil and seeing if I could get an insight as to who he was. And the first thing that came up wasn't anything like that. It was a Belphegor song called Baphomet, which isn't actually on this album, but Baphomet is a great song. And then it led me to the title track, Conjuring the Dead, and when I heard that, I was like, I've never heard anything so brutal. I've never heard anything so scary and just evil. And the imagery, the way they look, the words they were saying, the growls that they were making, it blew me away. I found that about 5 years ago, and I ventured out to find this just the CD, because obviously the vinyl didn't exist. It does exist now. I should look at adding that to my list at some point. But yeah, this is a beautiful, it's blackened death, so it's obviously not pure black metal, so the production on it is pretty damn good. Everything sounds tight and it's just mad. Gas Mask Terror is fantastic. It's got a great little intro at the start there. Like I said, Conjuring the Dead, the title track, is awesome. Blackwing Torment, I love. Legions of Destruction, but my favorite song, well, I say Conjuring the Dead's my favorite, but the second favorite that comes close, Flesh, Bones, and Blood. Oh my god, that Jaws-like riff, dun 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 dun. Flesh, bones, and blood. It's just perfect. This is a digipack expansion thing. It comes with a DVD of some performances and some making of the videos and whatnot. It's a really great brutal album. If you're looking for heavy stuff and you want to frighten some people, put Belphegor on. They'll do the job. If you want to know, where do I start with Belphegor? Go check out my Belphegor ranking. That was fun. I did that a little while ago. But yeah, number 25 easily, Belphegor, Conjuring the Dead. Number 24, Gloryhammer. In Legends from Beyond the Galactic Terror Vortex. Complete opposite to black metal, we get power metal now. I'm a massive, massive power metal. Well, at least I was a massive power metal fan. And this bands like Gloryhammer, I don't love it for like the intense, insane guitar playing that you get with the likes of, say, Rhapsody and things like that. Gloryhammer are more of a poor man Rhapsody in terms of like, you know, how simple their music is, but it's beautiful concepts, fantasy storytelling. It's just silly fun, and it's just great. Hello, look at the name, Legends from Beyond the Galactic Terror Vortex. Just that in itself. This is Gloryhammer's third album in their epic saga that they're telling, and it's easily Gloryhammer's best album, honest to God. This is a Napalm Record red vinyl, for those who want to know. Into the Terror Vortex, or Corvillia. That's a fantastic, it's an orchestral opener, it's a symphonic piece, it's great. The Siege of Dunkeld, Masters of the Galaxy, Land of Unicorns, Power of Laser Dragonfire, and Legendary Jetpack. Just these song titles, they're all it's power metal. They're so all damn catchy, and everything about them is fun. Gloryhammer, Hoots Force, Battle for Eternity is probably the one that I skip along with Hoots Force, but then you get hit with the Fires of Ancient Cosmic Destiny. Every Gloryhammer album has an epic 10-minute closing song, and this one is easily the best one. It's honestly just so fun. It's just a fantasy story about some heroes saving the world. Honestly, what more do you want? If you haven't checked it out, go listen to it. But I do recommend you listen to all three of them. Well, there's 4 of them now, but yeah, you should start with the debut and see where you wind up with that. But yeah, get ready for album 3 because it's great. That's number 24, Gloryhammer, Legends from the Beyond the Galactic Terror Vortex. Bit old school now. Number 23, Aussie Osborne, Bark at the Moon. Had I done this list a year ago, I probably would have said Aussie Osborne, Diary of a Madman. That was my favorite album for a long time, until I really listened to Bark at the Moon. It's just a really great solo album for Ozzy. Bark at the Moon is a fantastic song. I remember first hearing that song on Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and I remember thinking that was fun. This is 40 years old now, this legendary album, and everything else like other than the title track, Bark at the Moon, which we probably all know, and if you haven't heard the album, you're probably unfamiliar with all of this. Know You're No Different is honestly so fun. It's a ballad-ish, you know, second track ballad. Again, we know a few albums that do that. Now You See It, Now You Don't, great fun. Rock and Roll Rebel, real typical Aussie, could be a single there if it's not. Center of Eternity is like the epic of the album. That one's honestly so much fun. The first time we heard that, we heard the organs playing at the start. We were like, oh boy, here we go. What's going on? So Tired and Slow Down, you know, they're B-side fillers, so yeah. But then you get Waiting for Darkness, the album closer. That one's awesome. So Waiting for Darkness, it's just a fantastic Aussie album. And after the death of Randy and everything, it was, you know, starting to look grim. But Jakey Lee kicked into gear on this album. He did such a great job. So yeah, number 23, Bark at the Moon. Sorry, my heater just fell over. Going back to black metal now, except first wave black metal, number 22, we've got Venom's debut album with Welcome to Hell. If you listen to black metal, but you haven't dwelled into where it came from, honestly, this is the album where it came from. People will argue Bathory against these guys, and you know, you can go either way. This is easily the blueprint of black metal. Bathory kind of perfected what it would later come to be, but as a benchmark album, this is the one to go to. The second album, Black Metal, you can't go wrong with that either. But this one is just amazing. This is from 1981, so it's old as. So if you haven't heard it and you're expecting what black metal sounds like today, don't expect that. It's a Motorhead worship. It's a late new wave of British heavy metal album. It's extreme. It's, you know, it's fast and it's raw and it's just messy. It's amazing. Sons of Satan, fantastic song. Welcome to Hell, the title track. It's honestly golden. Schizo, that's fun. Mayhem with Mercy, which is where Mayhem got their name from. Poison, that's great too. Live Like an Angel, Die Like a Devil, that one's fun. That's not the melody. But yeah, Witching Hour, that's a creepingly haunting song. I love that one as well. 1000 Days in Sodom, oh, that's a great one. Honestly, I jam that so much. Angel Dust is fun. In League with Satan, that one is, honestly, if Welcome to Hell wasn't the album title, I reckon In League with Satan would have made a great album title. And Red Light Fever, I could probably leave off that one, but yeah. It's a fantastic album. It's historic, and it definitely needs listening if you're a black metal fan and you haven't checked it out before. So yeah, I highly recommend you get amongst this. That's Venom's Welcome to Hell, coming in at number 22. And then the last one for this video, number 21, is my favorite death album, and that is Spiritual Healing. Yeah, I love Leprosy too, don't get me wrong, but there's something really, really beautiful for me about Spiritual Healing. Not just the fact that it's blue or that it's that awesome album cover. I just enjoy the music on this one. It's a lot tighter. The musicianship is amazing. The lineup for this album is godly. Living Monstrosity is just fantastic. This whole album is go, go, go. Altering the Future, which is about abortions, I'm pretty sure. And I wasn't sure how I felt about that song because it obviously tackles some controversial stuff, and it's like, you know, his opinions being preached over the song, if you're pro-life, pro-choice, whatever. Defensive Personalities, though, that's the best song on this album. Defensive Personalities, that's great. Within the Mind, fantastic. Spiritual Healing, Genetic Reconstruction, Killing Spree. Honestly, it's a fantastic death metal album. It's a fantastic death album. Like I said, Leprosy is great, but this one just takes the cake for me, honestly. It's a fantastic brutal death metal album from 1992, I think. Is it 92? No, it's 90. Sorry. Yeah, if you've only heard Leprosy and you haven't dwelled into more death, please go check out Spiritual Healing. You won't regret it. So yeah, that's number 21, Spiritual Healing. And there we have it. That is my part 3 list of my top 50 albums of all time. Are we starting to see some more familiar favorites now that we're getting closer to number 1? We got 2 more parts to do, number 4 and number 5. I'm super hyped for that. I've got another album debut, Big 4 debut album ranking coming up very, very soon. That should be out mid next week, hopefully. So keep an eye out for that one. I'm super excited to get your opinions on that. But yeah, hang out until that happens. But if you want, please go watch some more videos and I will meet you all over there. But if your time is up and you have other things to do, thanks for hanging out with me, team, while I sit here and discuss some of my favorite albums of all time. Like I said before, keep an eye out for the next video. And when it's uploaded, I will see you all there. See you later.